Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome finally to the return of our F123 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're here today with pre-season testing for what I'm dubbing the Great Reset. Yes, we've gone back in to the F123 My Team Career Mode, but basically everything has gone back to Season 1. With the exception of the cars. Yes, we've got some custom liveries for all of the AI. I've also got a new custom team for ourselves as well. All of the mods you're going to see will be linked down in the description below. But of course, I kind of felt, obviously in F123, once you get to sort of Season 4, Season 5, things become quite stagnant with the exception of the driver moves. So I thought what we're going to do is head straight back to square one and restart this series from the beginning. So this isn't really a pre-season testing video like any I've done before. This is more of a mod showcase video for all of the other teams and of course the new custom team that we are going to be running for this series. All of the mods will be linked down in the description below, and of course the plan is after Season 1 we'll jump in with some calendar changes, some more driver changes and things like that. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this series, and of course as well I'm going to be giving access to round 1 to my Patreon supporters and my YouTube channel members right now. So if you want to get access to the videos slightly early, it costs just £1 a month, and obviously you help support the channel as well. But as you can see, Red Bull though, our first car, mainly unchanged, but we've actually gone back to the Turkish Grand Prix in 2021, obviously with the custom livery on their car there. So very, very excited to see from Red Bull, and of course as we head into the new year as well, Max Verstappen of course still only a 2-time Formula 1 world champion, but I'm sure we'll be looking to try and make it 3. Then we head over to Ferrari, of course a team that saw a lot of success in the original running of the F123 My Team Career Mode. Of course Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz still with the team, and a very unchanged paint scheme down at Ferrari. Of course, you know, I couldn't show up with a completely changed colour scheme on a Ferrari car. That would probably be sacrilege, but yeah, often obviously they do really well in the first season of the My Team Career Mode, so definitely think Ferrari are going to be one to watch, and of course their news ties in a little bit further down in the video as well. I'm sure obviously some of you are just going to skip right to the end, but yeah, definitely is worth checking out all of the other liveries on some of the other cars as well. And one of the best ones in my personal opinion is the all-new AMD Mercedes car. Yes, one of those ones that has been subtly redesigned here for this new career mode. Of course, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, their second season as teammates, of course, in this new hypothetical universe, and I'm sure that George Russell once again will be wanting to try and get the better of his 7-time Formula 1 world champion teammate. Of course, they've kept the black, but there's a few more hints of red on the Mercedes car. Of course, they did win one world championship in the first iteration of the My Team Career Mode there, but are we going to see Russell or Hamilton able to try and clutch up another one? Heading on now down to Alpine, of course, best of the rest back in 2022, and a whole host of rebranded sponsors for the Alpine team. Unfortunately, BWT have left, so they've got a whole host of various French sponsors there. You might have just seen the Airbus logos on the back of the car there, and actually, yeah, really, really cool design up a little bit closer there. A little bit more black on the car as well, as you can see a couple of the other French sponsors there, Air France as well on the rear wing, and hopefully, of course, their cars won't be taking flight throughout the course of the season there. Of course, their first time with their all-French lineup of Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. I think they could be one to watch this season. However, of course, we have seen them in many other series just fall to the back of the field. Moving on, though, down to McLaren, and they are going to be rocking the Stealth livery. Yes, we saw this, of course, in Real Life 23 in the Japanese and Singapore Grand Prix, obviously, over the last couple of weekends. But yes, inside this game, the team are going to be rocking this livery all season long there. Oscar Piastri, of course, making his Formula 1 debut. Of course, in real life, we've seen him make absolute, you know, a lightning start to his Formula 1 campaign, but of course he's going to be going up alongside the very experienced Lando Norris as well now. A very, very young driver lineup, but a very, very strong driver lineup down at McLaren, and of course this series is going to be done on the newest patch as well, so we'll see McLaren get quite a big performance buff as well as we head into the new campaign. Alfa Romeo are another team that's using their real-life F123 special paint scheme, and for this one, I couldn't choose any other than the Italian GP1. Of course, this might well be Alfa Romeo's last season inside Formula 1. I was very lucky to see this car in real life at the Italian Grand Prix, and it must admit, it was absolutely beautiful going around the circuit. Of course, hopefully we'll get some wheel-to-wheel battles with Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas over the course of the season. But yeah, this thing, honestly, actually, I think a very, very underrated livery there. And I'm very, very intrigued to see how Alfa Romeo get on in this season. One of the biggest shakeups, though, as we head into the new campaign is actually down at Aston Martin. Yes, of course, we heard official confirmation that they would be powered by Honda from 2026 onwards. However, that has been brought forward. Yes, maybe to Fernando Alonso's disgust. You never quite know what Fernando is thinking. But yeah, Aston Martin with a huge hint of white on the car there and a Honda power unit in the back of the car. Of course, Alonso joining the team, of course, he saw so much success in real life 2023, going up against Lance Stroll, of course, Daddy's son, over in the British-based outfit. But of course, yeah, still got those hints of racing green on the car. The British and the Japanese partnering together for hopefully something that is going to be very, very special this season. Another team with a big redesign is Haas. Yes, they've actually gone orange for 2023. They're sponsored by Jägermeister. Again, goes to showcase just a shift of the tides inside Formula 1 there. But Aston Martin, of course, Nico Hülkenberg making his return with the Haas outfit there. And yeah, I think it gives me Arrows vibes, that car, and I absolutely love that for the Haas organisation there. Of course, you know, had a semi-decent 2022 after a good recovery from the 2021 campaign, but what will Haas be able to do this season? What will Hülkenberg be able to do on his return to Formula 1 as well? Of course, coming in with Hülkenberg, the Jägermeister sponsorship. How this season's going to fare, only time will tell. Another team, though, with a big livery redesign is actually Alpha Tauri. Yes, this one, Alpha Tauri have kind of gone back to their old Toro Rosso colours. Of course, they've gone with white and blue over the last couple of seasons, but as you can quite clearly see, this car with a huge amount of red over the front half of the car. Of course, the All-in sponsorship clearly very, very prominent with the team, obviously in their first season together there, and I must admit, I saw this livery and absolutely just fell in love with it there. So Alpha Tauri, of course, will finally, inside F123, have Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo. This was another one of the big reasons as to why I wanted to do the full reset of F123. So, of course, we actually finally get Daniel Ricciardo in the car as well. Of course, shame Liam Lawson hasn't got the drive, but, you know, clearly Codemasters and EA are unable to implement that at this current point. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, an all-red Alpha Tauri car as well. I'm intrigued to see how they get on. And of course, when you head down to Williams, I think everyone knew that we were going to have to rock the Gulf Racing livery for this season there. Of course, you know, was announced a few weeks ago, and people have absolutely fallen in love with it. You know, very much similar vibes to the McLaren 2021 car, and of course, so many of the classic Gulf Racing cars as well. So Williams, finally, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing on the track, of course, throughout the entirety of the campaign there. But yeah, very, very excited to see how the Williams team get on, of course, throughout the entirety of Season 1. Obviously, Alex Albon and Logan Sargent is their driver lineup, obviously just like real life, so intrigued to see how the young Logan Sargent rookie is going to get on throughout his first campaign of Formula 1, but obviously the experienced head of Alex Albon, of course, had a pretty successful campaign with the Williams team throughout 2022, but yeah, back in the Gulf livery. Hopefully this is going to be a resurgence of form, and yeah, I definitely think Williams are going to be a team to look out for. And finally, last but not least, Lancia has returned to Formula 1. Yes, probably none of you are going to remember this, but Lancia actually raced back at the start of Formula 1 all the way back in 1950 and should have been a dominant force in the sport. In fact, Ferrari's first ever championship winner was actually a Lancia designed and built car. It was just poor management and poor spending by Lancia that meant they had to pull out of Formula 1, of course. Since then, they saw so much rally history, and of course with the Martini sponsorship as well, I really wanted to try and bring this livery back. Of course, we saw Williams with a similar design a few years ago, but yeah, I wanted to try and bring Lancia back to Formula 1, because of course there's all these rumours that maybe they'll go back to the WRC in real life, but this is where I think Lancia should try and take on next. We're using Ferrari power, as you will probably expect. Of course, you know, the Italian alliance has been formed up once again there, and our teammate throughout this first season is going to be Richard Verschoor, mainly because he provides a lot of money to the team there. But yeah, I just quickly want to give a shout out to the mod creator Tom, completely custom made for us. Of course, you'll see on all the onboard shots when we get into the season just how cool this livery really is. But apart from that, I don't really think there's a whole lot to add before we get into the new season. It's still going to be a full 23 race calendar, but I just don't want to overdo it with the mods for Season 1. So I've got quite a lot of plans for, you know, Season 2, Season 3 further down the line. Of course, we want to be making sure that we get Lancia and Martini back to winning ways, of course. So yeah, if you're hyped, please do make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed to the channel. Like I said in the intro, if you're one of my Patreon supporters or my channel members, you can get access to the opening race of the campaign right now as well. There'll be a link in the various places where all of that information is made public. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. The first race of the season is going to be going live tomorrow here on the channel. You guys do not want to miss it. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise, and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.